Well, I'm on the farm today, and I'm back here over the hill, and what we're looking at right here is a bunch of stubble from where we mowed autumn olives, and we have this every year, and it's just an impossible situation with this stubble. We mow it high so we can run over it, but you know, what it really needs to do is come to the ground, and we can't get it to the ground by plowing or doing stuff like that, or bush hogs can't cut it to the ground. So I've reached out to Southwest Virginia Forestry Mulching, and they're in here today, and I've got some select fields. I don't know if you can see it or not, but he's basically taking these taking this stubble down to the ground, so he's not cutting the big stuff over there. I've got certain spots, and basically what I want is I want it so he can take that stuff down below the ground about an inch. I want it so that we can drive over it with a car and not get a flat tire. And so when he gets done here, I'll be coming in with grass seed, and depending on how it looks is what I'm going to plant. I don't know if I'll plant fescue or timothy or orchard grass or what, but what I'm seeing now where he's kind of ground things up actually looks pretty good as far as making the seed bed. But he's going to come down where he's at right now. He's going to come down along the edge of the autumn olives that we've bush hogged, and he's going to come up to here, and he's going to go down to the edge of those woods and then back over. So this is going to be one of the fields I'll plant in hay at some point when he gets done. Certainly I'll be able to manage it, you know, without getting a flat tire. So this will probably be a multi-day video. He's going to be up here several days, and so I'll be taking footage as I go and rolling it into one video. So it might be a really long video. I'll come back. Okay, just a quick shot right in here. He's worked his way down to that swell, and then he's going to go up. I don't know if you can see it. There's a road trail that goes up to the top of the hill on our high ground, and so you can see he's marking a line. He's going to have a triangle to take out right there, and then he'll go on the other side of the road and make a 90-degree turn for another triangle. So we'll have a rectangular field coming in through here, and but I tell you, it's, you know, at first glance it's beyond my expectation. The ability of that machine to absolutely mulch is just I mean, it's beyond what I expected. And every now and then I'll see a piece of wood right there's some old cedars that you can see the cedars dotting the line up there, and so I have to walk through and kind of pick it a little bit, but for the most part it's just really clean. And when he gets done with that, we'll go up on the next job will be up on the hill around my high ground. So we'll be expanding that high ground acreage just like this. But so when I start making hay on this field, I'll be just continuing back over like I've been, and then going all the way out to there. So this is going to be a nice rolly field to be on with my equipment. So I'll come back. Okay, this first section for a field is complete now, and he went beyond the road. Maybe you can see it down in there, I'm not sure, but I'll take a short video from the other end of the field. We're heading next up onto the top. All right, here's the field from the other end, and I had him come out here and then go down this way, so I got a nice square end on the field to make a turn to go back. So I think it looks pretty good. Now we got to get up on top of the hill and on our high ground, and we're going to expand that next. So we're working up here on this high ground around this berm of material, and he's working his way down and back, and from the kind of our road over this way, and you can see the difference. I mean, you look at this, and then these autumn olive roots, they're just unbelievable. And but you can see some material flying out of the front of that machine, but I don't think you're going to get a flat tire driving over this. It's just a tremendous thing going on here with this forestry mulcher. Let me get out of the way before I get hit in the head with a piece of debris. All right, so he's finished this section here. All right, so he's finished this section here on this high ground. The sun's kind of bearing down on us, but you know, you saw the video earlier, but this was pretty much unpassable, and now it's beautiful. I mean, at first glance, it just looks great. And now he's moved to that side of the berm, and he'll go over that way and go down in there, and then he'll go way on back. So this is coming along really, really nicely. Be curious in the comments any recommendations you guys might have about what to sew in on here. I've got my own ideas, but I'd be curious in the comments what you might think. So here on the left hand side of this berm, you can see right in here, he's working on the very end of it down there, but he cleared a path going in through here. But you can see how these autumn olives are just completely out of control, and they will grow back if we don't do something. They'll grow back. They'll grow right back, you know, like 7 or 8 feet tall, and just full of thorns and thistles and things like that. So no doubt this has had to be done, and I'm just glad that we're able to do it, and he's making some pretty good progress. So you might be able to see him working on the backside of that field, and on this side of the berm, and my intent is to have him come right along in there is the edge of this hayfield. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I want to bring it on over to the side here, and there's a limit how far we can go down. It starts getting a little steep down that way, and the further over the side we go, the more autumn olives there are. So I would like all this cleared all the way out through there. So the work is continuing. We're on the left side of this berm, and he's going down and then coming back with his cutter head down. It grinds it up better like that, and you can see right in here. And I'm just going to kind of sneak in behind him and come on over this way, show you where he did the end of this at the end of this berm. But I mean, this is some nasty stuff in here, and he just grind literally into mulch. It's a forestry mulcher, and it's really making the mulch. And he went down along the edge where we keep it, or try to keep it bush hogged, and cut him a boundary down there, and then we're walking on the other side of it. But it's this is good ground to put a tractor on. I mean, it's got a little bit of a roll to it, but it's not like you're going down the side of a hill like that. So you can see you can see here, I'll just kind of keep you with me here for a second, but you can see where he's cleared all of this, and then what I call the right side of the berm is you know, right over here, and then it goes down that way a little bit. And so he worked back and forth like this and went down over the side. So you can kind of see the edge of where we bush hogged. We used to take it on down to the woods, but it gets a little dicey on the hillside. It's one thing when you have cattle and they eat like really steep slopes down to a nub. It's another thing when you try to get a tractor in here to do that. But I think he went around to the side and made a little path to kind of show him where to stop. Yeah, so, and we may still get in here and cut some of that stuff out yet, but it's coming along really good, and I think he's making pretty good time for what he's got to work with in here. And the goal right now is to get it cut down and ground up. We want to be able to drive across it with a car and not get a flat tire. And I'd say for the most part that's where we are. I'll see a few little stobs here and there, but over time they'll go away. And but this is some nasty stuff in here, and I hope it never comes back. I hope we have the motivation to keep it under control. And this is exactly why I bought that 12-foot bat wing, is to maintain these fields. Not really to cut crap like that, but you know, to maintain, clip the fields, mechanically keep things under control. When I just came through a minute ago, he was coming down through here, and I think he's done for the day. But working his way, there's the left side of the berm, and we were just over there a second ago. And so what he's going to do when he comes back, obviously finish this little section right in here, and then take this all the way out that way. Right up in there's the edge of my hay field, and it kind of peels around like that. But yeah, that should go pretty quick based on how he did today. And then I think we'll move to the ditch field down over there, which I'll show you in the next video. All right, it's day 2. We're back at it, and we got a threat of rain here this morning. It's misting a little bit. You can look around off in the distance. Something's going on out that way and up on these mountains, but if it starts raining, we have to quit. And but he's going to continue that spot right there on the left side of the berm, and make his way over, and then move down into this area, and then we'll try to go down over the side of the hill there to that field. I call it the ditch field, and might have him do a little bit of trimming on the other side of this field. There's some I need that done, but anyway, going to try to make as much progress here today as we can. We were thinking that tomorrow, day 3, was going to be a washout, but the weather guessers aren't quite got their ducks in a row again, and it's kind of looking like we might be able to come in here and have day 3. So certainly he's going to be here for 3 days, maybe 4. And while I got him, I'd like to get as much done as possible. Kind of put this effort in the rear view mirror. All right, I'm on the right side of this berm, and he just finished the other side of that. I'm just going to kind of walk around and give you a look-see of basically what I've gained in terms of the field so far, and here on this high ground. And you can see this lays, you know, it's got a little bit of slope to it, but it lays pretty good, you know, for putting a tractor on safely. And it's going to make a really good hay field. So as I come around this way, you can see that he's finished this side, which this is what I call the left side of the berm as I'm looking in this direction. But this is all shredded down, and wow, it just looks really good. You know, like I say, first glance, it looks really good. And so let me come back. Okay, just he's finished this left-hand side of the berm up there, as you can see, and he's working his way down. There's kind of a road trail that goes down to the ditch field back over that way, so he's cutting his way down through that and making it great again. And but you can see this kind of panhandle right here. The edge of my field is right along here, and I would come up, if you've seen the videos up here, and then I'd go around that berm and come back around. But now, you know, this is really nice, where I can get some grass to grow in here. This is going to be a nice hay field. So I'll come back. I don't think I mentioned this, but one of the things I had him do, one of my boys cut a bunch of firewood down here, and these autumn olives grow so fast that if you missed a year trimming in here, then you just had hopeless autumn olive stubble. They grow 10 feet tall. But he cut this firewood in here, and before we could get it out, the autumn olives came and the bush hogs came, and we had like Ponzi sticks that were just ideally designed to take out a tire on a car, or I mean on a, you know, on a truck. And so this wood's been sitting here for a few years, but I asked him to come on down over this side with it so we could get in here and get to this firewood, but also get to some other firewood in through here. We just have so much firewood on this farm. But the reason I'm not having him trim down through here, I want to focus on the essentials, and that's fields that we can actually do something with without you know, tipping over a tractor. And you can see as we come down, you know, it starts getting more and more steep like that. It's one thing to have a, you know, my Massey Ferguson 50 cruising down through here with a 5-foot bush hog, but my big Massey 1105 and 886 International, I don't know that I want them on that steep of a slope. Even driving through here, I mean, you hear people say it's not as steep as it looks. I don't think this is too bad, but somehow it's going to take me a few trips across this slope right here to rid myself of the pucker factor on the Massey 1105 and the International 886 when I come in here. But wow. So from where we were just at, when I come out to the end of the field, there's always been a trail and kind of a road down through here, and he's kind of chiseling his way through this with some autumn olives and some small stumps. You could get a tractor in here, but you know, as far as driving a truck or something like that, it was flat tire city if you decided to try it. So he's working his way down, and then he'll be working the field down beyond those trees. So we really needed this avenue in here and out. Okay, we're still on day 2, and he's working his way down into this spot right here. And so what he's going to do, I don't know if you can see the tip of that, those pines coming down there. There's a ditch, and he's going to cut from woods to woods across this way, parallel with this old fence row, and then go up like that. So I'm going to have a, I have a kind of a rectangular sort of hayfield going all the way out to those woods, and I'll walk out there to the other end so you can see another view of it. My apologies for the wind, but when I showed the clip earlier of him kind of cutting out a road trail that comes to the ditch field, and and again, I apologize for the wind. I'll kind of turn a little bit, maybe deflected, but it comes out into this field, and he's making the turn now to go across, I think. So he's going to be to the tip of those that pine and going across and working his way back and forth. And I don't know if I see one, I'll point it out, but there's some hardwood stumps in here. Some of them are like 6 inches in diameter. The people that clear cut this, they told us we'll take the stumps to the ground, and they didn't. They left them 6, 8 inches tall, just tall enough to hook your equipment. And so if he sees one, as he was coming down through there, he was going out and picking some of them out and knocking them down. And but you know, I can't hook my hay equipment on these stumps. Right here's one. You can see where the bush hogs hit it. You know, if it's a pine stump, a lot of them have rotted by now, and when you hit, when you hit them with the bush hog, they'll shatter. But you can see these autumn olives are so nasty, and if you just wait 12 months, they grow taller than you. I mean, they just go right up in height. Here's another view of how this is going to go. So that where the let's see here, where the pines and stuff come down to a point right there, he's going to go back and forth all the way down flush with these woods, and he's going to come back to the edge of these woods right here. Got a little debris right here. There's some firewood down in here. We haven't got it cleaned out, so he'll work right up to the edge of it, and we can deal with all that on our own. But yeah, this will be the next field. I'm not going up in there with it, or up on the other side of the ditch, at least not at this time. So I'll come back. Sometimes in the video, if you hear it pull down, he's into a stump. But I've eyeballed this field for a long time, just salivating at the opportunity to turn it into a hay field, and that's going to happen. The big challenge I got coming up next is, number one, I got to get seed down on here, and then I got to figure out who's going to buy the hay if I do cut it. But most definitely it'll be sprayed, and you'll be able to drive over it with a tractor, no flat tires, and my 12-foot bat wing will be a wonderful cutter to use on this field right here, and everywhere else that he's clearing. Well, we're still in this field right here. He's continuing to press on, and you can see what he's done right in here. He's working his way that way, down and back, and then he'll do the same thing over here. But it's a lot of ground, and there's a lot of autumn olive stubble in here, and there's a lot of these little stumps that I talked about. So I'll hear him encounter one of those things, but He kind of goes down and clips it almost like a bush hog, and then he backs up and rakes it under his cutter. It works better that way as far as grinding stuff up. And if they were, you know, trees or autumn olives that were, you know, full height, he kind of knocks them over and then backs over it to grind it up, and then continues to move forward. Because everything's mowed down here, it makes it go easier or better, because he doesn't have to continuously back over stuff to grind it up. So this is very, very helpful, what we got here. So again, we're on day 2. So we get this field done. I think we'll get it done today, and then we'll move on to other fields. There'll be a day 3 and probably a day 4 on this farm. I don't know if you can see that or not. Southwest Virginia Land Clearing. He has his own YouTube channel, so he's going to have footage of what's going on here, probably a lot better than mine. I'm just trying to give a little summary of what's going on as we go along, instead of focusing on the, you know, the equipment operating. All right, I hope you can see down here. I'm gonna go on the other side of the field, but he's coming down into this area right here. I know the sun, maybe I can kind of shield it out a little bit, but he's just about got the best of this field. He's moving down this way. I'm gonna get in behind him. Let me come back. Maybe you can see a little bit better. He's kind of angling towards that corner, and there's a lot of clanging and banging going on. If you ever had a neighbor that was bush hogging a rock pile, you just couldn't see it, but you could hear it. That's what some of this sounds like. And he's getting into stumps, and there's probably some rocks in there sitting close to the surface, but I think it's looking really good. So I'm gonna fall in behind him here and go on out to the other end of the field and show you what he's done. The way the sun's kind of bearing down, it's hard to look straight up that way, but I'm gonna go all the way out to the end of this field. But you can see what he's done here. So let me make my way to the end of the field and I'll come back. So I'm down here in the corner, and you can see across this field, it just lays really great. It's about a rectangular field as you're probably going to have up here. I mean, it kind of curves around that way a little bit, but if anything, it might be just a little bit triangular, narrower down that end than it is up here, but it just lays really good. It's going to be easy to put my tractors and equipment on it, and certainly my 12-foot bat wing will do a nice job of maintaining this thing. And so probably he'll be done here in just a little bit, and that might wrap up day 3. I'm sorry, day 2, and then I'm going to have him back. I've got more work to do elsewhere on this farm. The question is, you know, will he be back tomorrow or another day? They were calling for some rain tomorrow, but then they were kind of backing off the forecast. We're not quite sure, but he cannot work in the rain. So anyhow, this is basically field number 3, and here on day 2. So I feel like we're making some pretty good progress, and I sure hope we never let the autumn olives get out of control on this field. All right, so this field right here is essentially finished. This is day 2, and I'm kind of standing in the middle of it here and looking back over this way and looking back over this way. This is just, I mean, this is game changer type stuff, getting these autumn olive stubble out of here. And So we'll kind of leave it here. He's going to come back for a day 3, and I don't know if I'll put it in this video or not. If I don't, that's the land clearing going on here on the farm. The end of day 2, field number 3 finished. We'll talk to you later. All right, today is day 3, and if you see that spot right out in there, okay, that ridge, many times from this high ground, I have pointed that out and said that would make a great hay field if we just get it cleared off. And so what he's done today, he's on that ridge now. I don't know if you can see him out in there, but he did a little trim work down on that ditch field side that he worked on yesterday, and then I had him come over the side here on this high ground just a little bit, and I don't know if you can see it. He cut a road, a path out all the way up to the woods. It's always been there, but it's growed up in autumn olives, and then he made it much wider too. And he's going to do one coming down to that field, and he's going to do one that kind of comes up and loops around the side, so you don't have to go all the way to the top to come down. And but moving right along here, day 3. All right, so I just walked up here to the edge of the woods, and I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a red spot on that tree I painted, and one over here on this one. I marked it so that when he came up with this road, he would put the end of it right as you go into those woods and not off to one side or the other. But I'm going to have to come in and paint it a different color, because the no trespassers will think they're on federal land when they see that red looking National Forest border. So in Virginia, if you paint a tree purple, put a purple spot on it, supposedly that means no trespassing. And the reason it's purple is because they've tried other colors, and apparently some people that are colorblind can't see them, so they had to make that change. And well, he's down there, I don't know if you can see him or not, and working his way. He's going to be working his way back and forth, and then pushing down that way as far as he can. And I'm anxious to see how much progress he makes with the remainder of the day. But he really doesn't get into the super heavy stuff. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right about in there is where it kind of goes out of control again. I'll walk down there just a little bit here in a second. All right, day 3 continues. I'm going to try to pan up this way. It's a little hard. Right over there's the high ground, and I showed you cut a road up to the woods. The sun is just glaring down right now, but he's cut a road down through here. And when I say he's cut a road, these are, you know, roads or trails that we've always had. They just grew up in autumn olives, and kind of became impassable because of the stobs. And so let me walk down here and I'll show you what he's done. So he's working back and forth. He'll strike a line down the center and then work back and forth like that, the length of it. And he's kind of come down and hugged the edge of the woods right in there. And then if I come over to this side, he's kind of come along and sort of hugged the edge of where we bush hogged the last time down through there. And that's some pretty tedious slope to work with in there. So when he gets done with where he's at right now, he'll turn and do this little half right in here, and then he'll continue to go back, and then that this field kind of starts to narrow up, and then right before it, I don't know if you can see, there's some woods out there, but when you get out to that spot, that's when it kind of starts to go down, and he'll have to stop. So it'll be a place back there wide enough that you can make a turn with your hay cutter or bush hog, whatever you're using, and be able to you know, make a U-turn and come back this way. But yeah, looking pretty good. Day 3. I haven't been down here pestering him. It's kind of a long walk. I'm not quite ready to drive my car on this stuff right here just yet. I'm sure there's some briars yet that I haven't been disintegrated, but I won't have any problem putting a tractor on this. I'll come back. Okay, so we're starting to lose the sun, and he's kind of pressed on down through here on both sides. I hope you can see that. It looks a little dark to me, but just going to walk out here. There's a road that comes up around here. He's going to dive down in there and open that up. It's a little easier than coming down the hill like I just walked, and he drove in. But anyway, he's done a nice job in here, and this is some pretty rough stuff. This is actually some really rough stuff, and plenty of stumps, and he's taken all that out. And so you can see some of the more you know, you can kind of see some roots and stuff poking out down in here. That would be expected. And but you know, when we go to bush hog it, and right over there's the high ground, and like I said earlier in the video, for years I've been up there making hay and looking back over this way, and now I can just walk around and look back onto that hill. And here's what he's up. This is kind of real forestry mulching now. He's gonna not be cutting stubble so much as stuff that's just grown up, and we haven't got in here to bush hog it yet. But he'll take this on back and finish out the day, and then there'll be a day 4. This is still day 3, but here he comes. Let me shut down and get out of his way. So I've kind of moved out of his way here, and just like I think I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you can see it or not, but my car's up there on that high ground, and that'll get pushed out way on out that way, and then it kind of narrows up. But you know, I can live with stuff like this to clean up. I mean, when you look at this and how it was and how it's been for years, this is just transformational for this field. If we don't do anything except have a green grass field here, it'll be easily maintained. And you know, my 12-foot batwing bush hog is the ideal candidate here to, you know, to knock this out in a minute compared to 5-foot bush hog. So it'll get really used up here on this hill. And as we get it planted and get the pH up and whip the you know, just get the condition of the field. It's right acidic. Just get the field condition better. You know, we have a shot at making some decent hay on here, and then somehow or another we got to get the hay customers to show up, because I know in 2025 there was a lot of hay, and that's having an impact on our sales, probably more so than the quality. So a lot of promise in here, a lot of potential, and I just want to, you know, I just feel that you know, this has been a worthwhile investment. So he's going to go a little bit longer. I'm going to kind of call this the end of day 3, and tomorrow's day 4. Weather's supposed to be good, and we'll pick it up then. Okay, we're on day 4 here. I hope you can hear me. The Forestry Mulcher's pushing on down over that top. It gets kind of narrow down there, but he's going to take out that little corner and then some stuff down towards those trees. But this was some pretty heavy debris in here. You can see it kind of scattered out, and we hadn't bush hogged any of this yet. So, but the bottom line is the debris on the ground, and it's much easier to manage now. And then from here, we'll be heading back up on top. He's going to cut a road, cut a trail, if you will, that kind of goes around the top of those trees and back over to this high ground hill up here, so we're not going all the way to the woods and then coming back down. And I got a few other places he's going to cut for roads. One of them is from the edge of the woods up there all the way down along the side of them to that ditch field, so we can get a truck in and out up there. And then I'm going to have him where this high ground field right here goes up to the woods. I'm going to have him just start widening that out on this end of that field and down here on the field as it comes down, and see what we can get in terms of opening up some more ground. So I have a full day with him, so I have some essentials. This is probably the last really essential spot that he has to do, and he's just about finished with it. So now we can move into what I would regard as optional spots. Nice to have, not necessarily required if we ran out of time. And there's actually a road that goes down through here between that ridge and this one, and we're gonna, the road coming up through there has to be redone, but he's going to cut out the opening of it going down over the side just a little bit. And and then I got a couple of spots down below the road on the main farm, but I cannot imagine this stuff growing up again unless we just drop the ball. And really, like I said before, when they clear cut in here, they left the stumps high, and 6 to 12 inches high, and within a growing season it was consumed with autumn olives. And this is a lot of acreage to cut with a 5-foot bush hog when you have a full-time day job. And then my brother's got a 6-foot bush hog on his tractor, and he has beat the absolute daylights out of that thing, hitting these stumps. And he's taken a chainsaw and cut a lot of them off close to the ground. But and there were considerable amount of stumps in here, but he is everywhere he encounters a stump, it gets ground down. So day 4, as I mentioned, and we're going to be hopefully having a productive day here. We're going to have some optional time we can put to good use and kind of expand what we're already doing here in some other spots, and I'll show you all that when we get to it or get done with it. So let me mosey back over to my car up there on the high ground, and that's kind of my surveillance standpoint, and I'll come back. So it's kind of hard to see, but what I've got him doing right now, and this just comes under optional projects as we've completed the main goals, but he's coming down along the edge of the woods and clearing out stubble, autumn olive stubble. We used to drive up through there all of the time. Some of this stuff harkens back to when I was a boy, and So we're right off this ditch field here, and he's going to come on down, and there's a big oak tree that's fell in. He'll just kind of go around that and bring it out down to here. And so I've got him cutting a couple of trails here on the farms where we can take our side-by-sides, or a car, I guess, if we wanted to, and just kind of buzz around the farm like we used to when we were teenagers. Hope you could see the glare. The sun's trying to beat down on us, but this is the roadside field, as I call it. That's the first one he did. And so these autumn olives right in here, they were kind of encroaching on the side of this road, and so if your implement was a little bit wide, you had the potential of running into those autumn olive thorns and stobs. So I asked him to go down each side just one pass, and he did. So it's nice and wide right in here, and this will be another place that's going to be easy to maintain with the 12-foot batwing, or really any bush hog. So let's move up on the hill, and I'll show you what he's doing now. All right, this is the end of day 4 in the forestry mulching. The taking back of these fields and pastures is over, and the effort here for 2026 is over as well. So I had him going over the side, cutting the trail, and then I had him widen the road on the other end of that field right there, that high ground field that I showed you in the previous clip. And then I asked him if he could, I thought about taking him down to the main farm and doing some work, and maybe expanding an area on over the crown of that hill. But he had actually had a hay customer, and while I was gone, he had come over about 20 yards. I'd asked him to, kind of work this way, and I'll show you better when I get down on the other end what I'm talking about. But it looked impressive what he had done here, and I told him, I said, forget everything else and just cut here, work your way over until you run out of time. And I'll walk over here. This was an unexpected bonus because I really didn't think we would be able to cut any of this. I thought we would run out of time. And so you could see a line of autumn olives that we have not bush hogged yet, but this was stubble in here, and frankly a lot of stumps. I got to come in here and pick up stuff like that. And but as far as getting on it with a tractor, going up and back, I don't think it's going to be a problem. This makes it so much easier than trying to run over the stubble like you've seen elsewhere. But anyway, let me go down to the bottom of this spread right here, and I'll let you see what it looks like looking up this way. Okay, so I'm right on the edge of this field here, this high ground, and the trail kind of went up along the side right there, and I had him work over to the edge of that autumn olive. It's getting a little dark now, we've lost the sun, but with the extra time we had, we basically gained another field to add to what we've already done. So this has been a very productive effort. I had it's Southwest Virginia Land Clearing. I think that's the name of his business. If it's incorrect, I'll make a note right here on the video. Boy, I had him for 3 days with an option of the 4th, and I wanted the 4th day. I figured while I had him in here, let's just do as much as we can. And so we've really taken back some pastures and hay fields here. There's a lot of potential for hay fields now in here. And so now, next up, I got to figure out what I'm going to plant, what I'm going to do with it. I got plenty of ideas on that. If you want to leave some suggestions in the comments, that would be great. But for now, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Been a 4-day effort. This is the end of day 4, and so we'll be back with some other videos. Talk to you later.